Welcome, seekers of motivation and truth. Today we explore the concept of the chosen one and the simple weapon that silences enemies. In the vast tapestry of mythology and popular culture, one figure stands tall and resolute, the chosen one. This archetype, this hero of 1,000 faces, is as old as time itself, woven into the fabric of our collective consciousness. From King Arthur to Harry Potter, the chosen one is the hero, the savior, the one who steps forward when all hope seems lost. But what makes a chosen one? Is it destiny, birthright, or perhaps something more? Could it be that the true power of the chosen one lies not in their lineage or fate, but in their will, their courage, and their spirit? Now, let's shift gears a bit, for the chosen one often wields a weapon. In stories, it's often a sword, a wand, or some other physical tool. But what if I told you that the most potent weapon is not a physical one? What if I told you that the most powerful weapon doesn't require brute force or magical prowess, but something subtler, deeper, more profound? This weapon, my friends, is a simple one. It's not forged in fire or encrusted with jewels. It's not a relic of a bygone era or a gift from the gods. No, this weapon is something that each of us already possesses. It's within our reach, waiting for us to grasp it and wield it with grace and wisdom. Are you intrigued? Are you ready to delve deeper into the mystery of the chosen one and discover the power of this simple weapon? Are you ready to step into your own story, to become the hero of your own journey, to wield your own weapon with courage and conviction? If you're intrigued by the idea of becoming a chosen one and learning to wield this weapon, remember to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us. Who is the chosen one? It's not just a character in a fantasy novel, it could be you. The chosen one is a popular trope in storytelling, a lone figure destined for greatness. We see it in movies, read about it in books, and hear about it in legends. But let's take a step back from the fantastical and bring this concept into the real world. Because believe it or not, the chosen one could be any of us. You see, being the chosen one is less about destiny and more about choice. It's about choosing to be different, to stand out from the crowd. It's about choosing to take actions that matter, actions that can change the world in ways big and small. It's about choosing to be a force for good, to make a positive impact on the world around you. When we talk about the chosen one, we're not talking about someone with magical powers or a preordained fate. We're talking about an individual who has the courage to step out of their comfort zone, to challenge the status quo, to ask the hard questions and to seek the truth. We're talking about someone who refuses to be just another face in the crowd, who dares to be different, to be unique. The chosen one is not born, but made. It's not a title bestowed upon you, but a role you choose to assume. It's a mindset, a way of life. It's about believing in yourself and your ability to make a difference. It's about recognizing your own potential and then daring to reach for it. Now you might be wondering, how can I be the chosen one? I'm just an ordinary person. But that's just it. The chosen one is not some extraordinary being. They're ordinary people, just like you and me. They're people who have chosen to be extraordinary, to rise above their circumstances, to break free from the constraints of society, and to blaze their own trail. Remember, the chosen one is not defined by their abilities, but by their actions. It's not about what you can do, but what you choose to do. It's not about being the best, but doing your best. It's not about being perfect, but striving for excellence. So, the next time you find yourself feeling insignificant or powerless, remember that you have the power to be the chosen one. All it takes is a choice to be different, to stand out, to make a difference, a choice to be the chosen one. So, the chosen one isn't a mythical figure. It's a state of mind, a role that you can choose to assume. What is this simple weapon that the chosen one wields? It's silence, but not just any silence. Now I know what you're thinking. Silence? How can the absence of something be a weapon? But allow me to explain. We live in a world where everyone is trying to make their voice heard. There's a constant din of opinions, arguments, and noise. In such a world, silence can be incredibly powerful, a beacon of strength and confidence that cuts through the chaos. let's consider communication. We often think that effective communication is all about saying the right things at the right time. But what about listening? Listening is just as important, if not more so, than speaking. When you remain silent and truly listen to what the other person is saying, you're showing them respect. You're showing them that their words, their thoughts, their feelings matter. This can build trust and rapport, and can often lead to more fruitful conversations than if you were to dominate the dialogue. Then there's negotiation. When you're trying to strike a deal or resolve a conflict, silence can be your greatest ally. When you remain silent after putting forth a proposal, you're creating a space for the other person to think, to consider your offer. It's a subtle way of putting pressure on them without appearing confrontational. It's a way of saying, "I've said my piece, now it's your turn." And what about conflict resolution? When tensions are high and emotions are flaring, the instinctive reaction is often to fight fire with fire. But what if you chose to remain silent instead? What if you chose to not engage, to not add fuel to the fire? This kind of silence is not a sign of weakness or submission. It's a sign of strength, of self-control. It's a way of showing that you're not going to be drawn into unnecessary drama, that you're above petty squabbles. Silence can also be a powerful tool when dealing with criticism or insults. When someone tries to bring you down with their words, responding with silence can be incredibly disarming. It shows that you're not affected by their negativity, that their words have no power over you. It's a way of maintaining your dignity and self-respect. Of course, there's a time and place for everything, and silence is no exception. It's not about never speaking up or always holding your tongue. It's about knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, when to make your voice heard and when to let your silence speak volumes. Silence, wielded correctly, can be more powerful than any word or action. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember the chosen one. Remember the power of silence. And see if you can use this simple weapon to your advantage. Scene script. How can silence silence your enemy? It's all about understanding human nature and communication. You see, silence has a way of disarming an opponent. It's unexpected, it's unusual, and it's unsettling. When we're in a confrontation, we expect words, we expect a fight, we expect noise. But what happens when instead of words, there's silence? It throws people off balance. It makes them question their assumptions, and it makes them uncomfortable. And when people are uncomfortable, they often try to fill that silence. They start talking, they start explaining, they start justifying, and often they reveal more than they intended. They show their hand, they expose their weak spots. They give you information that you can use to your advantage. Think about it. You're in a negotiation, and the other person makes an offer. Instead of responding right away, you stay silent. You let the silence hang in the air. The other person starts to squirm. They wonder if they've said something wrong, if they've made a mistake. They might even start to second-guess their offer. They might start to offer more, to give you more, just to fill that silence. Silence, in this context, isn't about being quiet. It's not about being passive or submissive. It's about being in control. It's about dictating the pace and the flow of the conversation. It's about making the other person dance to your tune. Silence can also be a powerful tool in conflict. When someone is angry or upset, they often want a reaction. They want you to fight back, to get angry, to get upset. But what if you don't? What if you stay silent? What if you refuse to engage on their terms? It can be incredibly disarming. It can take the wind out of their sails and force them to confront their own anger and their own behavior. Now, this isn't to say that you should always stay silent. Communication is crucial in any relationship, be it personal or professional. But knowing when to use silence, knowing when to hold your tongue, can be a powerful tool. So how can you use silence to silence your enemy? By understanding that silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a strategic tool. It's a weapon. It's a way to take control, to dictate the terms, to force the other person to reveal their hand. Remember, silence isn't about being quiet. It's about being heard. It's about making a statement without saying a word. It's about showing that you're in control, that you're not going to be pushed around, that you're not going to be dictated to. Silence isn't passive, it's a tool, a weapon that can give you the upper hand. Silence isn't just a weapon for chosen ones. It's a tool that we can all use in our everyday lives. This simple yet profound realization can be the key to transforming your daily interactions and experiences. Imagine this. You're in a heated discussion with a colleague, a family member, or a friend. Emotions are running high and words are flying around like arrows in a battlefield. What if, instead of adding more fuel to the fire, you choose silence? What if you pause, take a deep breath, and choose not to react immediately? That's where the power of silence comes into play. It allows us to step back, reflect, and respond rather than react. Silence can improve relationships. It gives us the space to listen and understand the other person's perspective. When we're silent, we're not just withholding our words, we're creating a space for the other person to express themselves. It sends a powerful message that we value their thoughts and feelings. This mutual respect can strengthen our relationships and foster deeper connections. Silence can also reduce stress. In our fast-paced world, we're constantly bombarded with information, tasks, and demands. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, but when we embrace silence, we give our minds a much-needed break. We can slow down, relax, and recharge. Silence can be a sanctuary, a refuge from the chaos of our daily lives. Furthermore, silence can increase mindfulness. It brings us back to the present moment. When we're silent, we're not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. We're here now. It allows us to be fully present and engaged in whatever we're doing. Whether it's a conversation with a loved one, a task at work, or a moment of solitude, silence can enhance our awareness and appreciation of the present moment. So, how can we incorporate silence into our daily lives? Here are a few practical tips. First, start your day with a few minutes of silence. Before you dive into your tasks and responsibilities, take some time to sit quietly. It can set the tone for the rest of your day. Second, practice silent listening. When someone is talking, resist the urge to interrupt or formulate a response. Just listen. And finally, embrace silent moments. Don't rush to fill the silence with words or noises. Let it be. Remember, silence is not about shutting out the world. It's not about ignoring or avoiding. It's about creating a space for reflection, understanding, and thoughtful response. It's about embracing the stillness within us and around us. It's about finding our inner peace amid the noise and chaos. Silence isn't about being quiet. It's about listening, understanding, and responding effectively. So, the next time you find yourself in a tense situation or a bustling environment, remember the power of silence. It could be the simple weapon you need to navigate through the complexities of life. Let's explore some real-life examples of individuals who have used silence as a weapon. First up, let's delve into the world of sports. Consider the case of Serena Williams, the famed tennis player. During her matches, she is known for her intense focus and minimal communication. This silence is not just about concentrating on her game. It's also a strategic move, a way to throw off her opponents. By keeping quiet, she creates an environment of uncertainty, making it harder for her opponents to predict her next move. The outcome? An impressive 23 Grand Slam titles. The lesson here? Silence can be a powerful tool when used strategically. Next, let's look at the realm of business. Think about Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. Known for his quiet yet intense demeanor, Jobs often used silence to his advantage during meetings and negotiations. He would pause before responding, creating an uncomfortable silence that would often prompt others to speak, revealing their thoughts or giving away their hand. These moments of silence helped him gain the upper hand in negotiations, leading to the success of Apple. The takeaway? Silence can be a tactical weapon in negotiations. Now let's turn to politics. Consider Winston Churchill, one of the most influential leaders of the 20th century. Known for his eloquent speeches, he also knew the power of silence. He often used pauses in his speeches to emphasize points and let his words sink in, creating a powerful impact on his audience. The result? His speeches inspired a nation during one of its darkest times. The lesson? silence can be used to amplify your message and make a lasting impact. Let's move on to the world of entertainment. Think of Adele, the multi-award-winning singer. Known for her powerful voice, she also understands the importance of silence. In her songs, she uses silence to create tension and anticipation, making her music more impactful. The outcome? Her albums have topped the charts worldwide. The takeaway? Silence can enhance the emotional impact of your work. Finally, let's look at the field of science. Consider Albert Einstein, the renowned physicist. Known for his groundbreaking theories, he also valued the power of silence. He would spend hours in silence, contemplating and developing his ideas. This quiet time was crucial for his creative process and led to some of his most significant breakthroughs. The lesson? Silence can foster creativity and lead to innovative solutions. These stories show that silence is a powerful weapon, no matter who you are or what challenges you face. You too can become a chosen one. It's a matter of mindset, confidence, and the right tools. In the journey to becoming the chosen one, the first step is understanding that it's not about being selected by someone else, but choosing yourself. It's about embracing the belief that you have a purpose, a mission, a unique contribution to make. This is your mindset. It's the lens through which you see your world. It's your belief in yourself, your capabilities, and your potential to make a difference. This mindset is not about arrogance or self-importance. It's about self-assurance, self-respect, and self-empowerment. It's about recognizing that you have as much right as anyone else to be here, to be heard, and to influence the world around you. It's about understanding that you are not just a passive observer of your life, but an active participant, a shaper of your own destiny. Once you've adopted this mindset, the next step is to build confidence. Confidence is not something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. It's about learning to trust yourself, to rely on your judgment, to make decisions and stand by them. It's about facing your fears, stepping out of your comfort zone and taking risks. It's about learning from your mistakes, not being paralyzed by them. Building confidence is a process. It takes time, practice, and patience. It's about setting small, achievable goals and celebrating your successes. It's about acknowledging your strengths and working on your weaknesses. It's about not comparing yourself to others, but focusing on your own progress. It's about quieting the negative voices in your head and amplifying the positive ones. It's about being kind to yourself, believing in yourself, and backing yourself. Now, with the right mindset and the confidence in place, you're ready to wield your weapon, silence. Silence is not about absence, it's about presence. It's about being fully present in the moment, fully engaged in the conversation, fully attentive to the person you're interacting with. It's about listening, not just hearing. It's about understanding, not just responding. It's about respecting the other person's perspective, even if you disagree with it. Silence is a powerful tool. It can disarm your enemy. It can shift the dynamics of a conversation. It can create space for reflection and introspection. It can give you the upper hand, the element of surprise, the advantage of anticipation. It can make you seem wise, thoughtful, and considerate. It can make you a better communicator, a better negotiator, a better leader. Using silence effectively requires practice. It's about learning when to speak and when to hold back, when to assert yourself and when to yield, when to challenge and when to concede. It's about understanding the rhythm of a conversation, the flow of ideas, the dance of words. It's about mastering the art of timing, the craft of nuance, the subtlety of implication. With silence as your weapon, you are the chosen one. You have the power to change your world, the power to influence, to inspire, to instigate, the power to create, to innovate, to initiate, the power to lead, to guide, to mentor, the power to shape your destiny, to carve your path, to write your story. You are the chosen one. You have chosen yourself. You have chosen your weapon, and with it, you are unstoppable. With silence as your weapon, you are the chosen one. You have the power to change your world. We've explored the concept of the chosen one and the power of silence. Now it's over to you. Through our journey, we've delved into the essence of the chosen one. It's important to remember that being the chosen one isn't about possessing supernatural abilities or being born under a special star. It's about embracing your potential, stepping up to the plate when needed, and leading by example. It's about making choices, taking responsibility, and influencing those around you positively. We've also examined the idea of silence, not just as an absence of noise, but as a profound tool for communication, a weapon that can disarm our enemies and empower us. Silence can be the space where we listen more intently, understand more deeply, and respond more effectively. It's the pause that allows us to absorb, process, and then act. The marriage of these two concepts, the chosen one and silence, creates a potent combination. As a chosen one, the use of silence becomes a strategic tool for influencing outcomes, managing conflicts, and fostering relationships. It's about knowing when to speak, when to hold back, and when to simply listen. We've looked at how to employ silence in everyday life and how it can strengthen our relationships and interactions. We've also looked at case studies, real-life instances where silence was used effectively to alter the course of events. Now, it's your turn to experiment with silence. It's your turn to embrace your role as the chosen one in your own life. Use silence strategically. Listen more. Understand deeply. Respond effectively. And see how it transforms your interactions, relationships, and influence. Remember, the chosen one isn't a mythical figure. It's you, with the power of silence as your weapon. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful discussions.